The San Juan Islands in America's Pacific Northwest. It's a sea kayaking mecca. But every year, these waters claim the life of at least one sea kayaker.
It's 3:45, folks, the end of a beautiful November day. But winter is on its way, so plan your weekend accordingly.
The sea kayaking season is over, but endurance athlete Saul Kanderas wants to conquer the San Juans.
Hey, Larry, it's Saul. Where are you, man? Get here.
Saul and his track teammate from college, Larry Kaiser, are regular weekend warriors, but they've never kayaked together before.
Plan is to hit Strawberry Island, and after that hit Doe Bay, a 60s resort. It's got 2 hot tubs, 1 cold tub, clothing optional, which generally speaking means nobody wears a stitch.
The goal was to head there and take her clothes off and hit on women, basically. I mean, that was the goal. I'm up for any kind of challenge like that, any kind of physical challenge, especially if Saul throws that at me. If he can do it, I can do it. And not only if he can do it, I can do it, but I can do it better.
Hurry up, you slug. Get down here.
Because Larry is late, they set out at night, something that even the most experienced kayaker wouldn't do, especially in winter.
Slide you out. You hit the water, put your weight on the paddle, okay? I'm gonna kick your butt, you know that. Put your weight on the paddle.
It was unnerving setting out at night. People die every year kayaking in the San Juans. But that danger is exciting. It's a thrill. I'm thinking I'm invincible.
Whoa! We have a winner!
Larry and Saul are paddling off the coast of America's Washington state into the heart of the 176 islands that make up the San Juans. They're crossing a notoriously dangerous stretch of water, the Rosario Strait, on the way to their first destination, Strawberry Island. They need to cross quickly. Soon the tide will turn, making it virtually impossible to land on the far side. Eventually, Larry and Saul reach Strawberry Island, but they're late. The only landing spot is a sandy beach surrounded by dangerous rocks. Now, in the darkness, they face the ferocious tidal currents swirling around the island, giving the area its nickname, the Witch's Cauldron.
We're here. Witch's Cauldron. What? Strawberry Island is dead ahead. Where? Up ahead. Can you hear it? Saul, all I hear is thrashing waves. This is the plan. There is only one beach on this island, only one slot in between the rocks. We can't miss that slot. I'll paddle in first. When I land on the beach, I'll wave my flashlight. That's your signal.
We're gonna land on that.
Aim for the flashlight and paddle hard. You got it? Larry, you got it!
Yeah, aim for the flashlight.
I can see big, jagged rocks that don't look good to land on. It's just really hairy out there.
The flashlight I have, it's just not that bright. I see the rocks in front of me, and all I'm thinking is, oh, shoot.
What? Wait!
I hear him yelling. I can't tell what he's doing. I'm just like, what? What?
Don't come in!
What are you saying? I can't hear what you're saying.
Do not come in!
Larry sees my headlamp kind of waving around a little bit, and so he's figuring I must be waving him in.
Larry!
But I could see him coming in. He's aiming for the flashlight, just like I told him to, and that flashlight's on my head.
Larry!
crashing our boats on top of us and on top of the rocks. Very scary situation. Totally caught us off guard. It just happened in a split second.
You okay? What the hell was that? You tell me that! We crashed! We crashed! I stepped on it! Get me the hell out of here! They gotta reach those boats. You really need the boat. Yes! We need them! Well, we're dead! We just get the hell out of here. You don't get it, do you? We're not gonna get out of here! If we don't get there! Get out of here! Get out of here!
I'm realizing we're definitely in a survival situation here, and we got to get our stuff up here. We got 4 days worth of food on the boats. Got enough fresh water for maybe 2 or 3 days. Without it, we're screwed.
I thought you said there was a beach here. No, I lost the beach. Saul, how do you lose a beach? I misjudged it, okay? I got you.
Just hours into their sea kayaking adventure, Larry and Saul have shipwrecked on a deserted island.
I'm looking forward to getting warm. We could have been killed, but we weren't.
As much as Saul and I both seek out these fun, dangerous, athletic situations, we don't have a death wish. Basically, at this point, I take my dry bag out, and my dry bag is no longer a dry bag. My dry bag is a soaked bag. All my stuff is soaked at this point. Everything.
Larry, what happened? All my stuff is wet. Well, obviously. Did you even seal this properly? This is broken. No, it's not broken. You didn't seal it properly. What the hell is all this? This is all cotton. How could you ever think for a winter trip packing all cotton?
At that point, he was probably a little angry, and for probably good reason. My sleeping bag, all my clothes, all the gear I had, it's all just drenched. His stuff was fine.
Get into this. This is your bed. I have dry clothes. I can sleep in them.
Saul knows that in the cold and the wet, Larry's cotton clothes and his sleeping bag will take days to dry. Larry and Saul's adventure was supposed to last 9 days, but the weather is getting worse and Larry's gear isn't drying. So Saul makes a decision.
I've rapidly realized the trip I planned isn't within our reach. Not for the two of us together. It's not going to work. It just wouldn't be a prudent thing to do.
I just wanted to tell myself, you know, we still have time to have some fun and get this out of our system and use this as a small setback and just keep going.
So we're still going to Doe Bay then? The trip is over. Your stuff won't dry. One of us will end up hypothermic.
So the crash last night was totally my fault, had nothing to do with you.
Larry, man, we're bagging it.
I agree. Hey, do I get a say in this? Because I agree with you.
Start to pack your stuff up. We're leaving.
The trip is screwed at this point. But he's the boss. He's the leader. Saul is the expedition leader. That's how he always is. He likes being in charge.
Did you seal your dry bag?
Yes, I did, Daddy.
Okay. Boat's in water. Hey, Saul. I really think I gotta take a number 2. Yeah, there's a tide window. I'm not missing it.
The Nazi drill instructor was probably more what I'd become.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 4 options, Larry. 4?
I don't think I can count that high.
Quit joking, Ivy. Listen to me or you're on your own.
Ooh.
This is Strawberry Island now. This is Washington Park and our trucks. This is the Rosario Strait between us and home. Option 1. This island back here has a cabin. We knock on their door, ask for help. Option 2. We continue further to Orcas Island here. We stash the boats and take the ferry home. I'll get the boats another day. 3. This is the toughest option. We paddle back the way we came, 3 miles across the Rosario Strait. Now, I can do any of those, so you tell me which one you want to do.
What won out in the very end is the same thing that got us in trouble here. It's the same thing that's got us in trouble in other times. It's our competitive nature. If he can paddle across the channel, I can paddle across the channel. I can swim across it. I can cycle 150 miles if I want to. I can run a marathon. I don't care. He's the same way. But when we get us together, maybe we don't make the best decisions as a team.
The closer they get to the middle of the channel, the more their progress is slowed by wind and waves. And now the powerful tidal current is pushing them dangerously off course.
Larry, this current is gonna suck us out to sea! Do you understand?
Saul, I think I'm sinking.
Jeez, you just
I am, okay? I'm trying.
We haven't moved 10 feet in the last 10 minutes, man!
I could sense some panic in his voice. He knew that we had a limited amount of time to get across the channel.
We hit a point where when it got really rough, just all our forward progress stopped. I mean, 20 minutes we were roughly halfway, 40 minutes we were roughly halfway, an hour we were roughly halfway.
My boat was completely full of water at that point. My feet were covered, my shins were covered, it was coming up my legs. And that's when I started to get that sense of panic. And I knew, you're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. This big wave just cracks down and everything stopped. One moment I'm here in this boat full of water, and a second later I'm outside the boat treading water, just like that.
Less than an hour before dark, Larry is in the middle of the 3-mile-wide Rosario Strait. The tidal current is sweeping him away from land and into open water.
I'm in the water now. Not a fun feeling. Looking down and not seeing my feet, not seeing my shins, not seeing my knees, I'm getting scared at that time. Each minute is just, it's like some critical mass building and building and building, and it's not getting any better. It continues to get worse. It's getting dark, and there's no one here to not only save me or rescue me, but no one knows where the hell I'm even at.
It's been an hour since Larry capsized. Now, a full-scale rescue operation is underway. But without the lights or flares from his kayak, Larry is all but invisible.
I wish I would have grabbed the flashlight I had taped to the bow of my boat, which I didn't do. If I would have grabbed that flashlight, it probably would have been saved in half an hour. I'm looking around, and I can see kind of, boats out there. They're like crisscrossing back and forth.
Help! Help me! Here! Hey!
Not only was I a small person in a very big place, I was also a very vulnerable person in a very, very big place. At that point, I was fully thinking, there's just no chance in hell I'm ever getting out of this water alive.
Exhausted, Larry's body temperature is now so low, his life is in danger. If he doesn't start swimming again to get warm, he'll die.
That's where I made that decision to try to, so I say, my own sorry butt. As I'm continuing down, I can see this lighthouse coming off to my right as I'm coming up on it. And it seemed like I'd gotten a little closer to land from where I was at. I was in the middle of the channel when I first started. And I kind of came to this lighthouse, and it looked closer. And I'm thinking, I could maybe get that. I can maybe swim for that.
The tide is sweeping Larry towards the Pacific. But by sheer luck, a side current carries him within striking distance of the last available piece of dry land.
I start swimming, and it's getting closer. And keep swimming, it's getting closer and closer. I'm like, I'm gonna make this. My God, thank you. Thank you, Lord. I come up onto shore, and there's this big rock right there, and I just swim up and put my arms around this rock. This is the most beautiful rock I've seen in my life. That's all I could think of. No one else, nothing else, just lie there and enjoy this rock. This stupid rock that was my buddy at the time. A feeling of relief. Everyone knows what relief is, but if you've ever been in a situation where it's literally life and death, and you feel that you've cheated death that one time, it doesn't get much sweeter than that.
At 11:35 a.m., a rescue helicopter spots Larry and rushes him to the San Cortez Hospital ER.
Then the helicopter kind of flies overhead, and the guy there crewing the station just jumps up and says, "God, great news for you." He said, "They picked your friend up and they're taking him to the hospital and he's okay." Man, was I happy. Never seen somebody so happy in his life, like, okay, where's the hospital? Where's the hospital? Where's the hospital?
No. The zip's broken. I'm going to have to cut you.
I remember seeing him walk into the room that I was at, and you could tell without him verbalizing his feeling.
Yo, Larry. You okay?
Lift.
Hey, Saul.
I felt good having Saul there, but you don't leave your buddy. It's not correct. It's just not right to leave someone like that.
You left me. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just glad you're all right.
Yeah, me too.
With who I am, I wanted him not to feel guilty. I wanted him to hopefully be relieved in the fact that I'm okay. Do I hold a grudge against him for doing that? No, I don't.
It's just one of those things, you know, it's like, yeah. The main thing I remember is being so happy to see him. It was like better than any Christmas present is your buddy's still alive.
10 years after their misadventure, Saul and Larry remain friends and have even kayaked together in the San Juan Islands. But they never discuss what happened, nor can they agree if Saul's decision to leave his friend behind was the right thing to do. After a tiring 10-hour drive through the desert, Mark Sorensen and Rob Rusnak have almost reached the coast. From here, these young adventurers will begin the sailing trip of a lifetime.
How about a good song? Something nice. Something appropriate to this beautiful Mexican landscape.
Their long drive from San Diego will end at their launch point, Bahia de Los Angeles. It's on the eastern side of the Baja Peninsula and is part of Mexico. The cousins' plan is to sail round-trip across the Sea of Cortez on a 16-foot catamaran, a dangerous voyage at the best of times. Their nights will be spent camping on the myriad of islands across the sea. Until they finish the 160-mile round trip, no one is expecting to hear from them.
Wow. Incredible.
Beautiful. Mark's my cousin. I basically met him for the first time as a young teenager. He was about 14 years older than me, almost like a big brother, but we would get together to do a camping trip here and there.
Right in the middle of the cat?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Rob was about 26 years old at the time. Not so much a little brother or a little cousin.
It's perfect sailing weather. But the winds across the Sea of Cortez are notoriously difficult to predict, adding a twisted thrill to the journey. Dead calm, the heat builds to over 120 degrees, and there's no chance to cool down in this sea.
Watch out for hammerheads.
You mentioned sharks, you didn't mention hammerheads. Weren't hammerheads like the psychopath of the shark world?
Hey, would you be at peace with yourself if you had a head shape like that?
The Sea of Cortez is not a place to be taken lightly. I had seen a documentary about hundreds of hammerhead sharks moving through this part of the Sea of Cortez. Hammerheads are one of the few species of known man-eaters in the world and are known to be aggressive. This is something we want to keep our eyes open for.
You imagine catching one of those on the end of your line?
Yeah, maybe drag us into the nearest island. Be like Jaws.
3 hours later, the wind picks up as swiftly as it disappeared. But the dead calm was a warning, a forerunner to something much more sinister on the horizon.
Don't like the look of those clouds. Something's kicking up over there.
Coming out of the north was some kind of a squall or weather front, so we were kind of worried that, wow, what if this is something big rolling through that was not expected and that's going to be here for a while.
We might have to forget about the crossing and head back. What? We might have to. Look, small savage storms. Squalls. If we get caught in one, we're sitting ducks. I'm sorry, Rob. I'm turning around.
Fuck. I think we got water on the portside pontoon.
A small crack has opened up in the pontoon as it pounds the waves. There's no way to bail, and the catamaran starts to become dangerously unstable in the squall.
One big gust of wind, which was probably approaching about 60 or so miles per hour, hit us. We ended up in the water, tangled up in the sheets, with tattered sails in the water and, you know, rigging everywhere. I thought, oh my God, you know, this thing is going to crush my head. And so I thought for sure this boat's going to take my head off. Absolutely, I was scared.
Is it me? Is it now really cold in here? Let's get the cat back up.
We were both getting very cold, on the verge of hypothermia. I was shivering uncontrollably. I was very uncoordinated.
With the shredded sails and stricken pontoon, the catamaran keeps capsizing as Rob and Mark battle with the waves, their gear and the water barrel drift away.
Everything we're doing, everything we're trying is going wrong. And I said, well, what do we do now? Just die?
And when he said that, that brought in basically a flood of emotion where you're going, you know, this could be it. And what a ridiculous way to go.
They're weak, and in this storm, a 12-mile swim to the mainland is out of the question. With no boat, the threat of being eaten by hammerheads is now all too real. Using every last ounce of energy they possess, Mark and Rob head for the closest island. It's now their only hope of survival.
Getting up onto the shore was so incredible in terms of just the mental relief of having dry land under your feet.
We were soaked to the core, and we stripped all our clothes off and got in our sleeping bags and got into a fetal position to try to conserve warmth.
We were probably in pretty advanced stages of hypothermia. You're still shivering like crazy, but you know you've got a little cocoon of what will eventually become warmth as your body heats up the damp parts of the sleeping bag.
Rob, you okay?
At this point, your mind is playing tricks on you. You're not thinking clearly. And I saw this very strange, light-colored thing that was jumping around on the ground.
Rob, wake up.
I'm awake.
There's something over there.
I'm not opening my eyes.
Look.
I assumed at that point that this was some kind of animal that was kind of circling us and checking out our campsite.
I'm not opening my eyes. Because I'm thinking, here I am in my bed in San Diego. But if I open my eyes, I might actually be on a desert island freezing cold with no water. So I'm not opening my eyes.
Looking at me. Open your eyes.
I'm not opening
Open your eyes. Look.
It's a rock.
You honestly think that's a rock?
Now go to sleep. Wake up, dude. Wake up. The good news is the catamaran's sitting on the beach.
Yeah?
The bad news is it's in a million pieces.
Must have taken a hell of a beating against the rocks.
The only things that we didn't lose in the water were the items that were in our dry bags.
Well, we've got a book, well, half of, a knife, about 20 matches, and some soaking wet cookies.
Hey, I think I found that animal that was stalking you last night.
You did?
Yeah, kind of reddish in color. Moved up and down in a strange way.
Yeah. Oh, no.
What, are you afraid of balloons?
Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May.
Huh?
Must have blown over from the mainland.
And?
It's a Mexican holiday. It's like Independence Day. It's a national holiday that lasts 4 or 5 days. Everyone takes part.
Cool.
Even the fishermen.
Shit.
No one will be on the sea for a few days.
We don't have enough to last, do we?
Rob. Rob!
After we saw that balloon, you know, our spirits basically dipped pretty low, at least mine did. We might be in for a pretty long wait before we saw anybody in our area. It was really starting to get to me.
The two men are very exposed on their island. Just a day without water in this heat, and they'll be dead.
After the sun came up on the island, there was a limited breeze coming through there. So you can just feel the heat, you know, 110, 120 degrees. And you can just feel this heat getting hotter and hotter all morning long.
And the sun was just beating on you all day. There was no shade to be had anywhere.
Much better.
I basically stayed completely clothed, but even doing all that, you know, a few parts of my skin that were exposed got burned.
How you doing?
You didn't manage to find any sunblock on the salvage, did you? Starting to burn up.
Certainly any kind of humor that we could come up with helped to break the tedium and just the sense of despair that starts to sink in.
We have to find a few things, otherwise we're going to be dead before morning in this heat.
You know those guys in the movies in the desert going, water, water?
Yeah.
I know how they feel. There really is no way to drink seawater.
And it'll destroy your kidneys and make you go mad.
Yeah, okay. We'll leave that as a last resort.
What else we got around here? We have to find shelter and food.
Nothing.
Hey, wait a sec. Think John Wayne.
I don't think he's gonna help us now.
Well, you remember the westerns from the 40s and 50s? Don't Indians get water from cactus?
Hey, wait. Aren't cactus like protected species?
I can remember from being a little kid and watching things on TV, you can cut into a nice thick cactus and find fresh water.
What if it's poisonous?
Are cactus poisonous?
I skipped that class in school. Yes. Huh?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing's coming out. Maybe we gotta suck the pulp. Get the juice that way.
After you.
Well, let's not stand on ceremony. Tastes like warm bile.
I can't handle this.
No, keep going. This is for the water.
Our tongues were swelling and it was, you know, very parched throat and it gets kind of hard to breathe. And this immediately cleared up that.
The taste was just very nasty, bitter, but the moisture was definitely a relief.
We tried to experiment with different parts of the cactus. The lower on the base we went, it became woody, so there was not much moisture.
Nothing.
Are you sucking hard enough?
I'm giving it all I got.
So the base is too dry. Let's try the tips.
What's it like?
It's a little sour.
Maybe we just stick to the middle.
So we had to basically stick with the chest-high part of the cactus.
Now the men have some form of moisture, they need to get out of the sun's burning rays.
What?
After a blistering day, shipwrecked on the desert island of Guardian Angel, Mark and Rob are slowly wasting away. They're surviving on cactus juice and crabs, but the heat is a potentially lethal problem, even at night.
Our spirits, I think, were not bad, but not seeing anybody, not seeing a boat, it was quite depressing.
You think anyone will see the fire?
Can't hurt. Oh. What I wouldn't give to be able to peel the top layer of my skin off. I'm burning up.
My tongue is all swollen. Feels like a football. The stupid insects are driving me crazy. Ah!
Another constant annoyance on the island were these sandflies. They were tiny little gnat-like things that had severe bites.
Because you can't see them, there's nothing to swat. You know, these things somehow get on you and they're able to bite you, and you don't see them, you don't feel them until it's too late.
I tried to stay in the sleeping bag to avoid the sandflies, but as soon as it got too hot, I'd open the bag and I'd start getting eaten alive by these sandflies. It was maddening to be too hot in the bag and get eaten alive outside the bag, so it was a constant back and forth. If you fell asleep with the sleeping bag wide open, it was a big mistake.
I've been bit. I've been bit all over.
Yeah, they got me too.
The bites were all over our face, necks, ears, anywhere they could get to, they would bite you.
Do you think they're poisonous?
If they were, we'd be dead already. No, they're sandflies. They're like mosquitoes, but turbocharged. The itching will drive you crazy, but they're harmless.
How do I look?
Buddy, you look great.
You could run your hand up and down your arm, and it was just all bumpy up and down. And the welts were, you know, turning red and a bit infected in places. Nothing seemed to be able to really stop them.
Oh, no.
What's wrong?
My ring. My wedding ring. Look how loose it is. That's not good.
I'd been married since I was 17, and you don't get any lighter as you get older generally, and my wedding ring had become quite tight in recent years. And when it slipped right off my finger, that was a new experience, and I realized it was because we were losing so much water weight from our bodies.
How about a cookie to fill us up? They gotta have dried out by now.
Don't do it.
Why not?
It's about 90% sea salt.
Oh,
How are they?
they're a little salty.
Yeah.
Oh.
When I woke up the next morning, I reached down, as I typically do, kind of twist my wedding ring on my finger, and it was gone. I realized that this thing had actually just fallen off my finger during the night.
Rob, you seen my ring?
No.
I lost my wedding ring.
That's right.
When it slipped right off my finger, that was, to me, an indicator that things were starting to get very critical.
Got it. You okay, amigo?
Sure.
My mind and my vision and even my hearing were playing tricks on me.
You see something out there?
No.
The dehydration was definitely the major culprit in causing delirium and the mind tricks. These ant colonies seemed to take on a life of their own. It was like I was one of the ants.
Rob! Get in here.
I'll be right in.
I didn't know if I was going insane. I didn't know what was going on. It was bizarre and surreal at the time. It almost seems like a dream to me now. It was really starting to get to me. I was drained, I was quite delirious, and I was beginning to lose it. At this point, I knew that I could possibly die.
Did you hear that? Rob. Sounds like a boat.
Man, it's probably a wave. Or a pelican. Or the cactus talking to you or something.
Rob, get up! There's definitely a boat out there! Hey! Hey! Hey!
This way!
Sure enough, there was a boat just a few hundred yards out.
And we're thinking, oh my God, this thing is going to keep going. But it didn't. It stopped. And we're going, I think it stopped, you know? This thing is sitting there. The motor started revving again, and it started coming towards us. And we're going, oh my God, this thing's heading our way.
An incredible sense of relief and adrenaline rushed over me that I never felt before.
Are they Mexican fishermen? Why have they stopped?
I couldn't tell what they were saying, but they seemed pretty suspicious. Who knows what, who these two gringos could have been.
Why aren't they coming to get us?
I don't know.
Hey!
Let me deal with it.
I'm not fluent in Spanish, but I know enough to get along and was able to respond to them.
Hey, ¿qué pasó? Oye, estamos aquí por 3 días. Mira, mira, el barco choco con rocas.
That would have been devastating had they been so suspicious that they would just leave us behind. My spirits would have just sank to beyond the depths.
There's nothing that Mark and Rob can do. They are at the mercy of these fishermen who don't seem to believe their story of being shipwrecked on the island and living off cactus juice and crabs. Mark begs for their lives.
Es verdad. 3 días, no agua. Gracias. Muchas gracias.
They basically brought the boat around, and I guess were convinced that we weren't, crazies or something.
Just stay cool, man, until we know who these guys are, okay? ¡Muchas gracias! ¡Gracias! Vamos, rápido! Muchas gracias!
At that point, your mind is just so relieved that that you're now out of that predicament, and it looks like you're going to make it home. That it's just an overwhelming sense of relief. Glad to be alive and glad that we didn't die. They pulled up a 1-gallon container of water and headed directly towards Bahia de Los Angeles. The feeling of having gulps of water actually go down your throat was just incredible.
It was a bizarre feeling to feel your body hydrate almost instantaneously. You could almost feel it pumping out through all of your limbs and all of your veins. It was the best water I've ever swallowed.
The people in the boat brought us up to the actual town of Bahia de Los Angeles and gave us a gallon of water and said, "Good luck." And they turned around and they were gone.
The first thing Mark does is make an emotional call to his wife, who has no idea what he's just been through.
Yeah, I promise I'm fine. Just a little problem with the cat. I'll tell you about it later. We should be home early tomorrow morning.
It's sort of embarrassing that you've put yourself into this, life-threatening situation for, basically an adventurous whim.
Yeah, I love you too.
Before taking off, Rob and I at the general store basically loaded up on all the things your body is craving at that point. Things that are fatty, things that have some taste to them, things that are liquid, and kind of gorged ourselves. All of a sudden it's like, wow, we survived that.
I feel lucky now that I made it through that, A lot of people might not have made it.